Hello, hello. So today I'm going to work a tutorial with you guys on how to do the cabbage patch stitch. So I've worked up a little sample swatch here for you. Really easy to do. It is just a combination of double crochets and chains, and it's a repeat of 2 rows. So let's work this one together. Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm working with a worsted weight acrylic yarn, and then I'm working with a 5mm hook. To start off, like most of our stitches, we're going to work a slip knot, and then we're going to work a foundation chain that's a multiple of 4, and then we're going to add an additional 3 stitches. So for this tutorial, I'm going to work 23 stitches, and then I will meet you and we will work row 1 together. Okay, so that's 23 chains. To work row 1, I don't like to work into these V's at the front. I always like to turn my work over and then work into these back bars that you see here. So for row 1, we're going to work a double crochet into the 5th chain from our hook. So we'll count down 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into that stitch, work a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook through that back bar, yarn over and pull up a loop, and you'll have 3 on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So that's a double crochet. And you're actually going to work 3 more double crochets into that same stitch. So we're wanting a total of 4 double crochets in this stitch. So we've worked 1, again, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. So we have 3 on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So 1, 2, and then we're going to work 2 more into that same stitch. And that's 4 double crochets in 1 stitch. Next, we're going to skip 3 chains, so 1, 2, 3, and into the next chain, we're going to work 4 double crochets. So that's what we're going to repeat across this row. 4 double crochets into the stitch, skip 3 stitches, and then 4 double crochets into the next stitch. Work that all the way to the very end, and then I will meet you there and we will finish off row 1 together. So I'm just finishing up my last cluster of 4 double crochets, and that's going to leave us with 2 chains left. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip 1 chain, and into that very last chain, you're going to work 1 double crochet. And that's how you finish off row 1. And once you've finished off that 1 double crochet in the last stitch, you should have something that looks like this, so you can see your clusters of double crochets that you've worked for your first row. Next is row 2, and that is the first of the repeated rows for this pattern. We're going to chain 3, and that counts as a double crochet in this part of the pattern. We're going to turn our work around, and then we're going to work a double crochet into the 4th of the double crochets that we did in the previous row. So we're going to count over 1, 2, 3. This is our 4th double crochet, so we're going to work into the top of it here. And we're going to work a double crochet into it. So yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I know it's kind of a long way, but if you just keep an even tension, then it's relatively easy to work it across that many stitches. Next, we will chain 2, and then this is a bit of a tricky part of the pattern. Now we're going to work a double crochet into the first double crochet of that cluster. So we're going to have to work behind the double crochet we just did. So we're going to work through the back into the stitch. And how I identify it when I have my work turned is I just know I'm going to work here into this stitch. I'm going to hold my nail in front of it so I'm still able to work into it. And then it's a double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over before I turn my work, and then I know for sure that I'm working into this stitch. So now I'm just going to work underneath it like that and make sure it's behind the double crochet that you worked before. And then you just finish it off like a regular double crochet, and that's going to create almost like an X. Let's just finish it off here. So we're done. We've worked the 2nd double crochet here. It's behind, so you can see it worked there. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to repeat that into the next cluster. So into the fourth, work a double crochet into the fourth one. Again, it's a pretty long stretch. And you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 2, and then into the very first one. So mark it with your nail just like this, yarn over before you turn your work around, and kind of just turn it towards yourself, and you know you're going to work into the top of the stitch here. So again, you already yarned over. You're going to insert your hook back there, just like that. Yarn over and pull up a loop, and then just finish it off like a normal double crochet. So take your time. It's no rush to get this crisscross double crochet down, but it really is quite simple once you figure it out. So I've worked that, and then I'm going to work into the next one. So you can see where the X is forming. Once we work the next row, it really does even out the X, but again, work this. I'll do it one more time with you. You find the fourth, you work the double crochet, then you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to double crochet into your very first one, which you just find using your nail to mark it if you're having a hard time identifying when you turn your work the opposite way. And I'll meet you at the end here and show you how to finish it off. Okay, so I finished my last crisscross double crochet. Now I do have this turning chain left when you're done, so you can see here if you pull the work apart that the double crochet was worked into the fourth of the previous row. There it is there. So there's a turning chain left, and you're going to work a double crochet into the top of that turning chain, and that's how you finish off row 2. So we'll just work that double crochet, and then it's going to look something like this. So it did kind of pull your clusters from the previous row together, a little bit of texture. This is row 3, and this is the second of the repeated rows. So we will be repeating rows 2 and 3 for this whole project. To start row 3, we will chain 3, and that counts as a double crochet here. We're going to turn our work around, and then if we just kind of manipulate what we've done on the previous row here, I'm just going to take my hook out. You can see that here's one double crochet here, and then behind it is the other one. So it does make an X. You can see them there. And this space in between them, once you've kind of pulled it out a little bit, is the chain 2 space that we had chained in between them from the previous row. So what we're going to do after this double crochet or chain 3 we've done in the beginning is work 4 double crochets into that chain 2 space. Get my hook back in here. So we worked our chain 3, turned our work around, and now we're going to find the chain 2 space that we put in between the crisscross double crochets right here, and we're going to work 4 double crochets into it. So 4 into that crisscross there, and then this is just the very large gap from the previous row, and then you're going to find on top of the cluster of the previous row where you did that X, and you see the chain 2 there. So into this chain space you'll also do 4 double crochets, and then in every single one of those chain 2 spaces across we will work double crochets. I will meet you over here, and we will finish off row 3 together. Okay, so I'm just finishing up my last little double crochet cluster, and what we're going to do to finish off row 3 is find your turning chain. So 1, 2, 3, and into the top of it you're going to work a double crochet to finish off the row. So that's how row 3 is finished off. So it's worked very similarly to the way row 1 was worked, and then the rest of this will be just a repeat of rows 2 and 3. So this is what the end of row 3 is giving you. So you look on this side, and then this side here is where we're at so far. So it's really cute if you can figure out the crisscross part of that double crochet, and it's okay if you have to do it and then take it apart and kind of try it again. Sometimes it's hard just to find how to hold your hands when you are doing the cross. So I can show you here one more time, and then I'll work a bigger swatch. So just how to do the crisscross. So row 2 repeated would be a chain 3, turning our work. Then we're going to find the 4th double crochet. We're going to work a double crochet into it. And then we know we're going to come back here and work a double crochet here. So chain 2, and I can show you here just with a yarn needle. This is the stitch we're going to want to work into. So if we kind of look at it from the top, it's still similar. It's still the V, and we're going to work into it going from the front of our work like we always do. But when we work it, we're going to work it behind this bar. So we're going to end up turning our work like this and working through and completing the stitch while kind of holding this part down. So if you want to try it like that, it's could help out a little bit. So we've chained 2. We know we're going to put our stitch here. So maybe if we pull this down just a tiny bit so you can actually see the top, we know we're going to crochet right there. And it's going to be a double crochet. So we're going to yarn over first and then just right into the stitch, work the double crochet. And that's kind of how you do the cross. And then again, you just repeat that across. So I will meet you and show you a bigger swatch here. So I'm just finishing up a bit of a larger sample swatch here. So this is what it's looking like. So the Cabbage Patch stitch, I kind of find it looks like pineapples, but I mean, to each their own. It's still really adorable. Like I said, super adorable, and it works up relatively quickly, and you really don't need to know much, just a double crochet and a chain. So this is the Cabbage Patch stitch, and I hope this tutorial helped you guys figure it out.